Happy Meal toys.
Nice.
Taylor Gecking, 31, who lives with her husband, Adam.
Oh, well, I can take Adam. Yeah, I ain't worried about Adam.
In Richmond, Virginia, has collected more than 100 memorabilia items over the years and even had walls of the couple's home painted red and yellow, Metro UK reported. The abode includes a Ronald McDonald stained glass window.
Oh, that's sharp.
That is
I'd like to get one of those for the church.
Gecking's favorite item, and which first sparked her interest in anything McDonald's themed a couple years ago, she told the outlet. My husband and I stopped at a flea market during a road trip and saw a Ronald McDonald stained glass piece, and I was inexplicitly drawn to it, she said.
Okay, hold on, time out. I done found her on Facebook.
Yeah.
She's not that bad looking.
No.
I'm better looking than her husband for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, hello, what's up, Taylor? Oh, he's got those big old disc things in his ear.
Yeah.
So she probably wouldn't go for a guy like me. I can't get an ear piercing, especially those things, whatever they're called. That wouldn't look right. I got big ears anyways. Oh, there she is.
Yeah, there she is.
Much more flattering picture on her Facebook than that one.
But even that one's not that. She's got that kind of mousy look, you know?
Yeah. She does.
Like Gidget from Rescue Rangers. Horrible comparison. I can't believe I said that out loud. I walked away from it that day, but a whole year later, as we were driving through the same area, I asked to stop at that flea market again so I could see if the piece was still there. The price still hadn't gone down, so the couple walked away again. But her husband surprised her with the kitschy artwork the next day, having driven 8 hours round trip back to West Virginia to buy it for her.
Oh, that's a thoughtful husband.
Yes.
Oh, that's a better picture. Oh, he's got a nose, like a little bull ring thing on his nose, too?
Yes.
Okay.
She even had the fast food chain's Golden Arches, an original 1970 sign taken from a McDonald's restaurant, hanging above her stairs. No matter what items I add to the collection, my Ronald McDonald window will always be my favorite. But I did feel really childish excitement when we hung the giant sign on the wall. It was everything I had envisioned, and I definitely did a little happy dance. The woman said she believes she has more than 90 McDonald's-themed items, counting all of her individual Happy Meals toys.
Nice.
I found some of my smaller things at antique malls or flea markets, but many of my items are from online marketplaces. The biggest rush I've had was finding the hamburger spring toy. It was amongst hundreds of items on a local online estate auction. Man, is that the window that we're talking about?
Yes, it is.
That is the stuff of nightmares, my friend.
I actually dig it. Like, imagine that hanging in, like, above the baptistry in church. You know, we got that one now. That stained glass window now. John the Baptist baptizing Jesus. Imagine that was there.
I mean,
you talk about people lining up to join Christianity.
It'd be great for VBS.
Yeah, absolutely it would.
But I'm telling you, if that was my bedroom, going in there with the lights turned off and then you turn them on, you get that split second clown in the window.
I think you would put that in the bathroom. That's where I would put it.
She said her McDonald's obsession started when she was little. I visited the play place back when they still used McDonald's characters. You know, Grimace, the Hamburglar,
sure,
all those folks. My sister and I had so much fun climbing around and sliding into the ball pit. It had made a mundane lunch something to look forward to. Now she simply hopes to grow her collection. One day I hope to add a Ronald McDonald sitting on a bench, but so far it's been out of the budget. But a girl can dream. I remember one was taken from one restaurant.
I remember we did a story about it.
You just need a little bit more gumption, girl. Our whole home is full of things that are a little unusual to decorate with, but my husband and I both believe in surrounding ourselves with things that make us happy.
Amen.
So, man.
I agree with that, too.
That's the arches.
Yeah. I mean, she's got an impressive collection just from the few pictures they show here.
Yeah, she's got a
I don't get the Kool-Aid man.
She's got a crane machine.
Yeah. I don't get the Kool-Aid man, though.
Well,
that looks like some Chuck E. Cheese stuff back there.
Yeah. I think she may have padded her collection with little Chuck E. Cheese stuff.
Yeah. The stained glass window is a work of art. That's pretty brilliant. I love it. Well, good for her. I respect her.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen a story about a Chick-fil-A dedicated house anywhere.
No.
I did though, Tiny. I was going to tell you on the new truck, right? Which I'm going to call I'm going to say it's my new truck, but it's technically not my truck. But from here on out, I'm going to refer to it as my truck. I had to buy 4 new tires for it, or we had to get 4 new tires for it. So I just went through the Chick-fil-A drive-thru and had them put them on while I was there. I thought you'd be cool with that.
Yeah.
Just let some fast food worker do it.
I bet that's the best rotating and balancing tire job you've ever had in your life.
They begrudgingly said my pleasure when they finished up 2 hours later.
Wiping his hands on that greasy rag.
That's right. Dude, I'm making $9 an hour here. You got me doing mechanical work. Okay. You can't tell me them kids are happy about changing spare tires for people all the time.
Probably not. I don't know. I don't know if they are or not. Look, I didn't know that I've changed tires before for nothing, just to help out somebody.
Sure, I have to.
Yeah,
so. I have to. But you didn't have to step away from your job and do it, right?
No.
That you were supposed to be getting paid to do. Because I was sitting there like, man, I'm supposed to be on nuggets right now. And I'm out here in this daggone hot parking lot.
That's true.
Because this lady can't change her own tire or call somebody to help her.
One time
maybe I'm just a horrible person.
Well, now, one time I changed a tire for a buddy. It was in the parking lot after work.
Okay.
I was going home, and I look over, and I see Bubba struggling with a jack.
Sure.
And I'm like, hey, Bubba, what are you doing? And his tire was flat, so I helped him change it.
That's good.
I worked 8 hours. I wanted to go home, too, but I knew he was in the same boat, and if he didn't have some help, he'd be there longer than he would have if we jumped on it.
Difference between me and you is I would have had that. I didn't see him. Yeah. And then like a day later, and he's like, man, why don't you help me change my tire? I'm like, dude, you had a flat tire. I didn't even notice, man. Sorry.
Okay. This same dude, Bubba, he got off work one time, and there's another guy we worked with named Kirky. Kirky flagged him down he was on the side of the road because his car had broke down.
Yeah.
And he said, hey, could you give me a ride up here to AutoZone? My cousin works up there, and he's going to help me fix whatever it is. We know what the problem is. We just got to fix it. And he had already driven past, but he told him, he said, hey, I'm going to turn around and come back and pick you up.
Uh-huh.
Well, the light turns green, and he starts driving. And he looks at the clock, and he's like, oh, man, my kids are fixing to go get out of school. I don't have time. So he just kept on driving.
I like that. Well, let's talk about something that is near and dear to my rear, the bidet.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
The bidet, which was created, do you know where the bidet was created?
France.
France, that's right.
It sounds like it's French.
Centuries ago in France. It's never taken off here, but that might be changing.
Was the inventor's name John Bidet?
I don't know. That's John Bidet Ramsey. That's wrong. That isn't wrong, but it's just funny. But it's been this is from The Atlantic, by the way. So I'm sure it's going to be written by somebody way smarter than we normally get from like weeklyworlds.biden.eu.k website. So anyways, it's been completely Americanized, my host declares proudly. The bidet is gone. In my time as a travel editor, this scenario has become common while touring improvements to hotels and resorts around the world. My heart sinks when I hear it. To me, this doesn't feel like progress, but prejudice. Americans seem especially baffled by those basins, referring to the bidet.
Mm-hmm.
Even seasoned American travelers are unsure of their purpose. One Globetrotter asked me, why do bathrooms in this hotel have both toilets and urinals? Which I would kind of, think that you might pee in one.
I kind of like urinals.
Urinals are top notch, by the way.
I secretly wish I had one in my living room.
Well, I wouldn't put one in. We discussed that. The living room seems overkill. You put it in the bathroom, Tiny.
You don't have to pause Netflix.
But then
or the game.
But your living room smells like urinal cakes.
Well, that's a good point.
Yeah. Okay.
And not to mention my boys would just not even try. They would just pee all over the wall.
When they're little, like getting them to use a urinal, yeah, they'll get it everywhere.
And when you say little, you're talking like, I don't know, 7 to 27.
I used to have to make them stand on my foot, and then I would lift my foot up so they would be tall enough to use it.
Right.
And so they've had a lot of practice, but they were like trying to touch stuff in there and everything. Going to a public bathroom with a kid is a nightmare.
Yes.
Definitely. I'm glad I don't have to do that anymore. I'm just go in there. If y'all get kidnapped, you get kidnapped.
I remember when I was a kid, we would see how far away from the urinal we
absolutely.
could get.
I think that's every boy. Sometimes you try to see if you can get it to go up over the stall into the pot, just for fun, right? I don't have that kind of pressure anymore. Anyways, Americans seem okay, I've read that part. And even if they understand the bidet's functions, Americans often fail to see its appeal. Attempts to popularize the bidet in the United States have failed before, but recent efforts continue, and perhaps they might even succeed in bringing the old world device to new backsides. I like that sentence. So the classic bidet is miniature bathtub-like fixture situated next to the toilet. I'm pretty sure everybody has seen European Vacation. Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Or Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah.
When he's like, what is this, a backwasher?
Yeah, that's right. The bidet was born in France. Do you want to guess when?
No.
In the 1600s.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
As a washing basin for your private parts. So you don't have that tangy wang.
Yeah.
It's people who aren't in the Patreon don't know what the tangy wang reference is about. You'll have to join to see. It was considered a second step to the chamber pot, and both items were kept in the bathroom or dressing chamber. Some early versions of the bidet looked like ornamental ottomans, and they were often inset in wooden furniture with short legs. So anyways, oh, goodness gracious, this is way more complex than I want. So throughout the bidet boom, the United States resisted its appeal, and the reason might have been the power of its first impressions. Americans were introduced to bidets on a broad scale during World War II, when troops were stationed in Europe. GIs visiting bordellos would often see bidets in the bathrooms, so they began to associate these basins with sex work. Given Americans' puritanical past, it makes sense that once back home, servicemen would feel squeamish presenting these fixtures to their homeland. But even before the war, bidets were linked to sex and scandal. In the United States and Britain, when various forms of douching were thought of as a pregnancy preventative, bidets were considered a form of birth control. So there we go.
Okay.
I guess water
will stop it.
Sure. Right. Yeah. Water will. Hey, you get a good flush out. Is what I'm saying. Right. In the United States, bidets recalled all kinds of feminine failings, women's sexuality, women's unwanted pregnancy, and women's biology, and as such, they were shunned. So let me just skip. Golly, this is a long article.
Yeah, skip on down to where it says, after one nationwide toilet paper shortage, that's all it took to convince Americans they need a water fountain for their butt.
I've been on it before the toilet paper shortage, though, right? I've wanted one for at least since we started this podcast.
Yeah.
The United States has largely ignored the bidet and its spinoffs, but it has warmly welcomed an alternative product, flushable wet wipes. You ever use flushable wet wipes?
Dude, flushable wet wipes are not that flushable.
No, right.
That said,
they're amazing. They are. They are. These wipes became a cheapy workaround to address many of the same issues as the bidet, but they come at a much higher cost. Wet wipes or wet naps were, oh goodness, I don't need the history of wet wipes.
Let me guess. Were those birth control messages
sure.
too?
It goes into sex work. I'm not kidding. So given the downsides of the wet wipes, Americans are ready to abandon this disposable solution and finally embrace a simple spritz of water. Miki Agarwal, who's the founder of Think, says yes. Agarwal has captured mainstream attention with her Thinks Panties, an environmentally conscious pad tampon alternative. I picked the wrong article to read. This is very little relevant bidet content. And this is like longer than a New York Times one. So
did someone have a research paper too?
let me just say what I thought this article was going to be. Is that like